Welcome to the Gaspesian Better Living Chats. This is a place where we get to sit and meet some really interesting people. It's a series of informal and friendly chats where we get to listen to people's stories that they can help us to discover and see new things about the Gaspé Coast. They also help us to inspire, to encourage us to get out there, enjoy life on the Gaspé Coast, and they get to help us know this place that we all call home. This morning, we're lucky enough to be able to go back into Linda Drody's studio. She's an artist from Gaspé, and we were there a little while ago, and she got to tell us a little bit about herself. And we decided to ask her to go back again, and she was kind enough to say yes. This morning, I think she has a project lined up for us to do. So good morning, Linda, and it's really nice to see you again here this morning.
Good morning, Mary. Very nice to see you as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here on the Gaspé Coast.
Absolutely. I was outside all morning spending time with the girlies.
Can you tell us a little bit about these girlies? You see, I'm going to be honest, folks. When we first we talked this morning, Linda was telling me a little bit about what she was doing out there this morning. And really, I think that she should share it with you as well. So tell us a little bit about these girls that you're talking about, Linda.
Okay. Well, yesterday afternoon, when my son got home from work, he decided to help me build an enclosure for our little hens. And so we have 6 of them. And so he said to me, "Mom, why don't you do it?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "I'd rather your help." And he said, "Well, you used to do so many projects." And he said, like, "You don't do anything like that anymore." And I said, "Well, like I'm 20 years older or 25 years older. So I don't really feel like I don't have the energy to do all that." But we worked on it together, and it's not perfect. Jonathan is a chainsaw man. So, but I mean, it's lovely, and it's kind of fancy because I wanted our girls to have a fancy place, and I'd like a fancy place to visit. So anyway, so this morning I had to put the girlies in the place, and so thank God I had a couple of visitors that were helping me shoo the little girls in. And so maybe one of these days I will take you out to my little hen coop and introduce you to my girls.
That would be really nice, Linda, because I really like chickens. Again, I grew up on a farm and we had chickens, and that was one of the things that I remember most about going to get the eggs and that. Linda, can you show me the little signs that you made for the chicken, for their houses?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. There's a couple, they all have names. So there is Peggy Sue, Daisy May.
Okay.
Daisy May. And so Betty Lou, I guess she's got a little Irish in her.
Okay.
And Ellie Mae.
Oh.
So I have little chicken tracks. And so I have, I'm not sure where the others are, but anyway, they're not far. But I will show you because they'll be outside. And
okay.
Anyway,
so we'll have a
special little house.
So we'll have to visit again to see your chicks.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to invite you into their little quarters.
Okay, I'll look forward to that. So this morning, Linda, the last time we talked, you talked about doing a painting, something that we you made seem very simple for us to do. And it involves beach glass, etc. So Linda, take us on a painting escapade in your
Good,
studio.
I will.
And by the way, I love the paintings in the background. These are paintings that you did. They're beautiful, Linda.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just going to remind you that this is the painting that, it's a painting, sea glass painting, so it's very simple. And if I made it sound simple, it's because it is. So we'll start with paint colors. So I already took out my paint colors. I have a light green and a dark green, and I'm not sure if you can tell the colors very well.
Yes, I can.
So I'm going to, well, actually, before I start with that, this measures 5 by 7, I think, or maybe it's 4.5 by 6. Let me just check. Darn tootin'. I think I have only, oh gosh, anyway, I had it marked down. Sorry.
No problem. We get to look at your paintings in the background while you're looking for that.
Well, it's actually like 13 centimeters by 18 centimeters. Sorry, that's what it is. So 13 by 18 centimeters. And I can't remember what the exact size was. I think it was 5 by 7, but 13 by 18 centimeters. So what I did is, I wish I had an inch ruler. I think it's out in another room. So we want to be able to cut a certain size to fit within the frame. So again, I want you to cut 13 by 18 centimeters. Would you prefer I get a ruler to measure?
No,
exactly?
because it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean,
Okay.
Linda?
So now I have a certain size frame here, but you know what? If you have a frame at home, you can cut your cardboard to this size. Now I have a fairly stiff cardboard. It's for using watercolors, but you know, if you have a package of nylons or anything that is stiff, the back of a card that you had, you can use that. Sure. And so anyway, we will start. By the way, you would want to make just a tiny little mark in the corner. I'm not sure if you can see a small little light line. And I don't want to make it very heavy because we want to erase that afterwards. But we do want to put a mark where the picture is. So the picture is inside this little mat right here, you know, the little cardboard frame inside. So that means you have to go 9 by 14. So it's just to keep you within those perimeters, so you don't end up with your sea glass way over and it's going to be inside that frame. You want it right inside this mat.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll start. I'll put this here so I can take a look to paint as closely as possible to what I have shown you. So, and it doesn't matter if you go below that little line. So I'm going to take some green, a darker green, and I'm going to start painting. Now, another thing I want to point out, when you put your flowers in, it's better not to have them directly like the same height. Maybe one could be just a little down here. You can go down maybe about 1.5 inches, and the other one could be just a little bit lower. So and I'm making very tiny little dots because I'm not using green for the center. Yep. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just it can be a little pencil mark just to give you an idea of where to put it. So one just a little bit lower than the other. So right now I'm going to paint the stem of the flower. Well, so mine is not headed in the right direction, so I'm just going to make a little bit of grass there for now. And here I'm going to head up, and it's not dark enough, so I'm going to go over it again. And if you are painting on a table, feel free to rest don't hold your hand out try to rest your hand on the table to give you some stability, and it makes it easier to paint. So.
You would keep your hands steadier as well, right?
Well, yes, as you write, usually you write with your hand resting on the table.
Yes.
You can do the same thing. When you're doing very detailed work, you want to rest your hand to keep it steady. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna work on the other one. So I can also start here and come down gently. Okay, at least I got my lines in, and then we can work from there. Start, it can be just slightly bigger, but we'll keep it narrow because we want to also have, we're going to say that the sun is shining over here, so we want to lighten up our grass on that side. So we're going to put a lighter green. Now, if you don't have the lighter green, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you can just have a regular, just one color, but if you want, you can give your plant a little more dimension by adding that little extra color, just a little brighter. So I'm going to just draw in a whole lot of the, maybe I'll put that just up here a little. So I'm just going to draw in, because I don't want to take all day to do it, because we only have so much time, but you have lots of time at home, so you can take your time and
play with it.
Yeah, play with it and experiment. So just 1 minute, I have to get a little more paint.
I love playing with colors.
Yes, I like it. Just love it. So for me, it's easier if I turn it this way, so I can get a smoother line if I turn. And so by all means, turn the canvas or the cardboard any way at all that makes you comfortable. Don't just keep it in one position all the time.
It's starting to come to life.
It's starting to.
As you go about your paintings, I'm not trying to distract you, but a painting like in the background, say if I think it's a lighthouse I see, how long would a painting like that take to do?
Oh, after probably about 20 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. It takes a long time. I'm a slow painter because I like to do detail. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the beauty is in the details. So,
you know what? I see so many different styles, and I see a lot that don't have as much detail, and I love it. But I don't know. But for me, it's like a sickness. Like I have to keep going until I think it's like perfect. And I mean, probably somebody else might look at it and say it's not perfect, but I'm just saying that for me, I have to do the detail. It's just the kind of person I am, you know?
yeah.
And I love the others. I certainly love what other people do. And I think, oh, I'd love to do that style, but it's not me.
Yeah. No. And that's one of the things about painting or doing anything, actually. We each do it in our own way, the best that we can, and nothing has to be perfect, but it is in practicing and in continuing to do something that you love that you improve your skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you certainly can't expect to be perfect at the first time. And I've done so many things, and once I've done it, I think, oh, I should have done that, or I should have done this. So, you do improve for sure.
Because Linda,
nothing wrong with.
Nothing, you go ahead. Nothing wrong with.
nothing wrong with making a mistake, or you learn. That's how you learn it. And I think for me, sometimes I learn better making mistakes than listening to somebody else,
Well,
maybe, not
definitely.
always.
No, but I mean, it's hands-on. Painting is an expression, or again, anything creative is an expression of ourselves. And the more we do it, the more we explore, the better we get.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I think I mentioned to you before, so many people will say, "Oh, I'd love to paint, but I can't paint."
Yeah.
But if you've never tried, you never know. And there are some amazing people out there, who they might not be amazing at drawing, but there's so many tricks out there that you can learn,
Oh, yeah.
and you can still have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I have enough grass in here.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna let that just dry a minute. And what we can do while it's drying is prepare our sea glass.
Sure.
So I had mentioned that you needed 5 pieces of green or blue, but if you don't have that, I have 5, because I don't have blue. I have 5 pieces of clear, and so I'm using a bright orange. I must be colorblind. Bright pink. So
Okay.
we're using that. And if you want to use like a mauve or something, that's okay. Anything at all, whatever you prefer. So I am going to take some water, and I'm just kind of watering it down a little bit, because we don't want it to be too bright. We want to try to make it look like real sea glass. Oh, darn. I think I'll just shut that off. One minute,
Okay.
please.
This gives us a time to look at her paintings behind her. And we can see she has a painting of her chicks there. Maybe not this year's chicks, but some other chicks.
That's right, that's right. It's from a few years ago. Okay, so
Linda,
I have
the paint,
yes.
the paint that you're using, is it an acrylic paint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I honestly don't know. I haven't tried it, or maybe I did try the other day. No, I didn't. With water paint, but it probably will give much the same effect, because
Okay.
this is water-based.
Okay.
So I'm just going to paint it, and I'll paint it on one side. And let me see. How can I got my fingerprints there? Go this way, this way.
Come over.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't really see much, but anyway, it's a very pale pink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna set that down and leave it dry. I'm gonna do another. I'm just gonna do my 5 pieces. I certainly don't want them very thick. They're not going to be very thick because I keep rubbing them off with my fingers. Okay.
So again, and even if they didn't have sea glass, if they had some sort of small pebbles, they could actually maybe even do that with small rocks. Small
Absolutely.
stones,
because
smooth
there are
ones.
some places that have, sometimes the rocks or the stones are so flat,
Yes,
from shale rock,
exactly.
So that would work perfectly too, absolutely.
Right. Because not all of us can maybe get out to walk on the beaches. And I know that so many people are collecting sea glass now that it becomes a little bit harder to get in certain places. But
Absolutely.
little stones would that are smooth and flat, they could be used.
Absolutely, that's a perfect idea. Okay, so once you've painted them, maybe if you see that they're like a little darker in one area than another, just touch while the glass is lying down, just touch it with your brush just slightly to kind of smooth out that little bit of paint that is gathered in one spot a little more than the other, so you have a more even tone. Okay. So I am going to put a little bit of yellow right here at the top of this and at the top of this stem. So I'm just going to grab yellow.
Ooh, that's a beautiful yellow.
Oh, I love this yellow.
And what's the name of that yellow?
Um, Cadmium yellow.
Oh, right. It's beautiful.
I like it very much.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
So you have to send away for your paints because there's no paint shop in Gaspé?
We do have a paint shop,
Great.
but I still prefer to send, my favorite paints actually are Liquitex. It's
Okay.
they're quite expensive. I pay more for this than for this big one,
Okay.
but it's a really, really good quality.
The quality. But for someone starting out who wanted to just play around, and for, maybe young people who want to do it, they could actually get their paints at the dollar store.
Well, I find the dollar store, to tell you the truth, it was a better quality like 20 years ago than it is today.
Yeah.
Some people who have come to art class with me have started with that, but it really doesn't cover very well.
Okay.
I don't like those paints at all, and some just threw them out. But maybe they're okay for painting rocks and stuff like that. These are not terribly expensive, and you can get smaller tubes. I can't remember the price, maybe for $6. And sometimes you can buy a little pack, those little packs, with 10 in or something.
Right.
And I find that those are not such good quality either. Really, I don't care much for the starter packs either. I mean, it's okay to get a starter pack and give it a try and see if you like it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a $30 pack or maybe $20 or something like that. And just a few good brushes,
Yeah.
The dollar store doesn't have very good quality either, for
No.
brushes. So, okay, I have my yellow there. So I'm going to start putting some purple here because we have a little bit of purple flower.
Right.
We have a few purple flowers. I guess
Right.
we also have yellow. We'll go back to the yellow. I'll do a few purple. So I'm going to put that in my tray as well. And you really need like very, very little. I probably, oops, there goes my pink. Anyway. So I'm going to take another brush. Just a second.
I'm sure you have a lot of brushes in your studio, Linda.
This is one pack, but I have a whole lot more. Another pack. So sometimes brushes are kind of spread out. I'm just going to show you if they're not used properly. And so I have this one. I don't know if you can tell, but
No,
where I have to lift my hand, bring
over
it
this
over.
way.
Yeah.
There we go. Right.
So it's kind of sprayed on the ends. It's sticking out. So it's kind of a good one to do something like this little flower here.
Okay.
Because you want something kind of wispy. So I'm going to put one side kind of darker. Okay, we're going to go here. So it doesn't make a perfect line. I'm just going to go like that. And here too. Make it just a little bit bigger. So I'm just kind of dabbing it on.
Yeah, which makes them much more realistic.
Yes, yes.
It's already looking nice, Linda.
It's coming, it's shaping up.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the flowers are, you know, they grow any which way and they fall
Yep.
over a little bit when they get heavier, so they might sag down a little bit.
You
Okay,
can
so I'm
almost
going to use, pardon me?
you can almost imagine them blowing in the wind.
That's right, that's right. So I'm going to take a little white.
Okay.
And I'm going to mix in just a tiny bit of white
Okay.
with this.
Mm-hmm.
So just to make a little mauve. And so we're going to highlight these. This is the lighter side. So here we go. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my yellow that I had. And so maybe when you're doing it, you can also do it in a better order than I did, and just go ahead and put like a little flower here. So we're just going to make any little flower
So
along here to brighten it up.
yeah. So it makes it look more like it's in a wild patch
Yes,
of flowers.
the best kind of all.
Yes.
Aren't they the best kind of
I
flowers?
love wildflowers. I have
Me
a couple
too.
of packs of seeds that I'm going to be planting this spring there. I got to do it actually on the weekend.
That's good. That's fun.
Yeah, they're beautiful because they just all grow in their own way, and there's a multitude of colors and
Absolutely.
a little bit of weeds that grow in between them, and
Yeah, and some weeds, yeah, some of those weeds are beautiful, right?
that's right.
I had a pretty a nice garden around a pond years ago, and so I used to plant a lot of flowers, but a lot of them I would plant flowers that fit well in kind of a wild zone,
Yes,
and so if flowers grew up and if weeds grew up and they looked nice in there, they stayed. You
they
know,
stayed.
that was
Yes.
fine. Yeah.
And some of those weeds, what we consider weeds, are so important for the wildlife, for the birds and the hummingbirds and the bees and everything. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, we need that.
we need that.
We need to lighten up on those weeds.
Yes, that's right.
If you came around my place, you'd see I lightened up a long time ago on those weeds. So now I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry, but well, actually, maybe another thing. Okay, another thing I could do. Do you see on the place where I have the flowers, I have other little leaves kind of growing out, a little bit
Yes.
different.
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to do right now while the rest is drying. Okay.
Okay.
So. Oops, I put it on the wrong one.
It'll look like that it was supposed to be there.
That's right. I think, you know what, some plants just kind of like
That's right.
melange.
That's right.
Whatever.
That's right.
It's all made up anyway.
And you're the artist, so you get to put your colors where you want them.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Mistake or not.
That's right. And if you hadn't have told us, we wouldn't have known anything what you were doing.
Probably not. So you can keep yours a secret too.
That's right. I do.
Okay, so I'm taking some glue and I'm putting a little bit in also in my paint tray. And I'm probably going to have to lay down the picture right now to put this on. So
Okay.
I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to just shine this, pull this down a little bit. Let's see if I can do something here. Can you see the picture? Well, can you see the picture I have here?
Not yet.
Not at all. Let's see this. How am I going to do that? So I have to lay it down. You see it now, don't you?
No, I just see your paint tray. So maybe, Linda, if you move your paint tray a bit and put your,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Like we told everybody, these are informal chats.
Mm-hmm.
No rehearsing here.
I am not Bob Ross.
Well,
So
Linda, you're not yet, but
no,
who knows
that's
what
right,
the future holds. Yes.
You never know. You never know.
You never know.
Some TV, what do you call that?
Appearances?
Station, or some station might say, "Well, we have to have her. We have to have her."
That's it.
Yeah.
You just never know.
So I'm just going to place them around and just show you what I have done when I get it.
Yeah. So there you're placing you're sticking the stones?
Well, yeah, it could be stones. I'm sticking.
Or your glass. Oh, beautiful.
You see, so I'm starting.
Yes.
And this reminds me of something. If you only had 3 stones, you can even, do something without having that little dot. You could have 3, because sometimes they're folded over and you're only seeing half the flower.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is much the case of some of the poppies we see sometimes. They're kind of
absolutely, yes,
together.
That's right. Okay, so I'm just going to show you quickly because I can't hold it up. There.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And they're cute.
I love it.
So now I'm going to go with the green. Okay, I have to find my green because they flipped over. I didn't tell you that I didn't have much in the organizational skills.
This is a learn as we go type of thing.
That's right. I'm learning too.
There was no staging.
No, that's right. That's right. Okay. I'll try to get the green on there.
And what kind of glue do you use, Linda?
Just a school glue, like a white glue. Something I picked up at the dollar store, and it's going to hold in pretty well anyway, as long as you're not lifting it right away. But it will hold because we're going to have it inside a glass afterwards.
Exactly. And were you telling me that those frames, you had got some of them at the dollar store?
Yes, absolutely. They're beautiful frames at the dollar store.
That's great. So this makes a project that everybody actually can do, even though if they can't buy the good brushes now, they can't buy the good paint, they can still work around what they can find at the dollar store. And
absolutely.
And I mean, this is a project for all ages.
Yes. And there are standard sizes of frames, that fit a 5x7. So if you have a 5x7 card, you can make something with that and fit it in the frame when you're ready.
Exactly.
When you're able to get the frame.
Exactly.
Let me see. I'm trying to find. Not all of my glass is very smooth. Oh well, maybe this. There we go. So here we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I pull it away.
Oh,
and
so that's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that is really, really nice.
Thank you. Now, I think we just have to let it dry a minute before I do anything else. I'll get the frame I have.
That seems like a good rainy day project for in the house.
It is fantastic, yeah. Because it's a nice, bright thing to do, right? It's a fun thing to do. So yeah, you need that on a rainy day for sure.
Is that a frame you got from the dollar store?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Oh, they're beautiful. I know. Now, mine are still damp, so I'm going to just put it on like with my. I put it on like kind of the opposite way. I don't lay my picture down, so you can see. So it kind of cut off a few things at the side, a few little flowers, but it's not so terrible.
It's beautiful, Linda.
Well, thank you.
I really, really like it. What in such a short amount of time, you were able to create a beautiful piece of artwork that anybody would love to have on their wall. It's bright and it's happy.
It is, and wouldn't that make a wonderful gift for somebody?
Oh, it really would. Especially, you know, something like that in the summertime would make a beautiful gift. I mean, at any time of the year, but especially at this time of the year when we're all looking, you know, to flowers and just a little bit of softness. And
I think so too.
It's really, really nice. Linda, I really appreciated this.
My pleasure. So, I mean, of course, you can take your time and do something a little more perfect. But you know what? Don't forget, you'll do one, and you probably will see where you can fix up little errors, and so the next time it will get better. And each one that you make will be better and better and better.
And that's just what art is about. It's what, and again, it all comes down to playing with colors and just exploring that. All the possibilities in that. I mean, Linda, you've done that, and then we look in the background and we see some of the beautiful paintings that you've done. It's so again, it's so inspiring. It's really, really nice. Linda, I really thank you for letting us come into your studio again today and for that project. And definitely, I'm going to be doing it. I am definitely going to be.
Good. I hope you do. I hope that some people will maybe post up some of the work they have done or send it to CASA so they could post it up.
Sure, just on the links that follow here where this is going to be posted. Sure, it would be really nice to see some of the artwork and get more people involved, because these Better Living chats, it's about getting people to see and do and enjoy different things. And we got to try. It's like you say, we say we can't do something, but it's only in the trying that we get to know more about it. And we actually see that we can do it and we can enjoy it. And that's one of the good things about living here on the Gaspé Coast, because there's so many things that we can see and do. And so many interesting people that we can sit and have a cup of tea with, because if you've noticed, I've been drinking my cup of tea.
You have your cup of tea. I had mine with the girls this morning.
Oh, of course. A different group of chicks. Linda, again, thank you very much. And maybe we can come back again another time for another chat and another project. And I know that you sing and that, so maybe we'll add a little bit of that to our next chat.
You never know.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks again, Linda. Now you can get to go back and enjoy the rest of this beautiful sunny day out there. And for everyone out there, I hope that you enjoyed it and that you'll come back and join us for another Better Living chat. And until then, let's try to get out there and meet more people, even though we're in this shutdown time. But I mean, online, we're really lucky because we still get to stay in touch and communicate and share good things. So let's support each other. Let's look after each other. And until next time, stay well. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, Linda.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.